Welcome to Historofiles. A few weeks ago, when I was discussing some video ideas I had with my mother, she said something really strange to me. "You know my dad once excavated a Roman road, don't you?" I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, really. He researched, found and then dug up a Roman road all on his own." I couldn't believe it and knew right away that I had to investigate further. So naturally, I went to go and see him. Hello Historofiles, and welcome to a special episode of Historofiles. I'm here with my grandfather, who in 1969 excavated a Roman road. So, what originally gave you the idea to do that?
Well, I've always been interested in archaeology,
Right.
and particularly Roman archaeology. And I had read that there was a problem with the site of the Roman settlement in a place called Condate.
Right.
And it was, some people said it was in Northwich, some people said it was in Wilderspool, and there are a number of, and some people said it was in Middlewich.
Right.
And that is what made me think that it would be worth looking into it further. The way you trace a Roman road, you look at things like field boundaries, old footpaths,
Right.
and roads, of course.
Yeah.
Often field boundaries are, the boundary was used, the Roman road, the old road was used as the field boundary.
Okay.
And many people won't know this, but every field in the country has a name.
Right.
Every field has a name and it's marked on the Ordnance Survey
Okay.
map.
I didn't know that, no.
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 And you, in tracing these things, you look for words like stony field
Okay.
or camp field, or there are a number of clues that you can get from the field names. I started tracing this, following field boundaries and footpaths, roads, and eventually reached a place where there was no field boundary that was that appeared to be relevant.
Right.
So there was a hump in the field, a slight rise in the field, across the field, and so I probed it,
Okay.
probed across it. This would be the normal procedure,
Yeah.
and found that about 2 to 3 feet below the surface there was a solid surface.
Okay.
So then I excavated it.
Mhm.
And I found, in fact, the remains of the road.
Why exactly did you want to do it? What motivated you?
I was just interested in Roman roads.
Right. Okay.
And Roman history.
Okay. So you mentioned that you probed the field and
Yes.
found the road. Did you have to get permission off anyone in order to do this?
Yes, from the farmer, and he gave me permission to do it.
Okay. How long did it take you from start to finish?
I kept going back. I only excavated a space about 2 or 3 feet wide,
Right.
across the road.
Right.
And I just used to go back, left it open, went back to it at weekends or when I had any time, and I did it over a period of the whole thing, tracing of the road. I did it over a period of about 5 or 6 months.
Well, in terms of after probing, when you dug, was there any specific procedure that you did, or you just get a shovel and...
You just get a shovel.
Yeah.
You just get a pickaxe.
A pickaxe.
Yes,
shovel.
get
Right.
a shovel, and just like digging out. And then when you get near the surface, you use a trowel.
Okay, right. Wondering how intact the roadway was.
Well, it was quite intact, yeah. You see, it was a bit like roads from the 19th century.
Okay.
They would start with large pieces of rock,
right,
then small piece, and eventually there'd be a layer of gravel.
Okay.
And that is what there was.
All in all, what would you say the hardest part of it would have been? Finding it or digging it?
No, digging. Peter always once said, you know, Mum, Dad's only interested in dead people. At the time also I was on a course at an extramural course in the evenings at Manchester University,
right,
on archaeology.
Okay, so that kind of was one of the things that sparked interest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, and they also the farmer said to me, he said, I can't understand how it got buried.
Right.
And of course the reason first it's worms, leaves dropping, and over 1500 years, that's how it gets buried. Yeah.
But the farmer couldn't understand it.
No.
So where exactly was this field where you found this road?
Oh, it was near Lymm.
Near Lymm, right.
Yes.
Well, I think that's all my questions really. Is there anything else you've...
No, there's nothing else I can say. I did find a small piece of pottery.
Right. Oh, that would be cool.
Yes.
Have you still got it?
I don't know.
No.
It's only about that big.
Right. Okay.
So I think that's the only thing I can add.
Right.
To it.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for speaking with me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. When I was leaving, my grandfather gave me a folder with all his notes, letters and reports on the excavation, which I couldn't wait to get stuck into. I've found some absolutely fascinating documents in here. The most interesting to me being the letters that he sent to different institutions and the replies that they sent to him. For example, I have one letter here dated the 21st of April 1969 from the Ordnance Survey to my grandfather. It says, "Thank you for your letter of the 14th of April. The scale given on the Roman Britain map is the generally accepted figure of 1618 yards to a Roman mile. However, a calculation based on the fine spots of Roman milestones near Carlisle suggested a measurement of 1680 yards. We have no record of any Roman finds near the junction of King Street and Watling Street." My grandfather then replies on the 6th of October, "In connection with my investigations, I have been tracing the course of a Roman road between the Roman site at Wilderspool and Ottringham. I have traced the course of the road generally and carried out a small excavation in a field, and I have uncovered the road running in an east-west direction." I then have another letter on the 8th of October from the Ordnance Survey again to my grandfather saying, "Thank you for the information regarding your excavation at Lymm. I have noted this in our records and the site will be visited when Cheshire is next being revised. From the Roman Britain map, it certainly looks a possibility that the Wilderspool Road should have continued towards Manchester." I also have one here dated the 28th of October 1969 from the Society of Antiquaries of London. It says, "Dear Mr. Quilliam, thank you for your letter and I was interested to hear of the work you are doing on Roman roads in Chester. I still have my old field notebook from 1960 and I'm enclosing a rough copy of the even rougher sketch which I made of the Stretton cutting. My notes do not add any more than appear in the Chester Archaeological Journal and I hope this sketch section may prove of some use. Yours sincerely, F.H. Thompson." I haven't been able to find the sketch though, that's unfortunate. I also have another one here from the Council for British Archaeology, sent on the 20th of March 1970. It says, "Dear Mr. Quilliam, whilst sending out the newsletters, I was interested to note your comments regarding the site of Condate and your theory that it might be at Wilderspool. The small errors are certainly a problem, as A.L.F. Rivet pointed out in his lectures to the Roman Society last year, but your theory certainly seems to hold good when applied to ITA 2. What happens in ITA 10? If you then cite Condate at Wilderspool and presume that Mediolanum is at Whitchurch, then we get an error of 13 Roman miles. If you cite Condate at Northwich, this error is reduced to 4 miles. I have never personally held the view that Condate could be possibly at Middlewich or Congleton, but I have certainly over recent years come to think that Northwich seems a reasonable possibility. Distances are generally correct and Mediolanum fits well at Whitchurch. I should very much like your comments on this problem and wish you good luck with your future research. My grandfather then replied, "Dear Mr. Bestwick, thank you for your letter of the 20th of March. I enclose a copy of a draft report which I prepared about 12 months ago. This was before any excavation and also includes some superfluous material, which could be taken out. On the other hand, there are also 1 or 2 other important indications, which came to light after this was typed. You will note the mistake on the Ordnance Survey map, confirmed in a letter to myself by the Ordnance Survey. When this is corrected, Northwich seems even less likely. I hope to have the fuller report available in a couple of weeks and I will send you a copy." I have here the map my grandfather drew of the Roman roads in the region, and here we can see the different routes he suggests for the road that he found, going from Manchester through Wilderspool and then on to Chester. So let's have a look at what a typical Roman road would have looked like. First, there would be a layer of compacted sand or dry earth, on top of which would be a layer of crushed rock, known as the staternon. You would then have the rudus, which is a layer made up of gravel in cement mortar. Above this would be the nucleus, which would be cemented sand and gravel. The final layer and the road surface would then be made up of large stone slabs. This was called the summum dorsum. The road would be built with a slight curvature in order to prevent the road from flooding. Rainwater would run down the sides of the roads into drainage ditches that ran parallel to the road. And this is what my grandfather found. There is a bottom layer of sandstone, followed by a layer of clay, which stretches across the majority of the road. On top of this, there is a layer of sand, pebbles, gravel and chippings, before a final layer of topsoil, hiding the road from view. Unfortunately, one of the stipulations that the landowner made of my grandfather before allowing him to dig up the road was that there would be no mess left behind, and as such, the excavations were filled in shortly after being completed. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed learning about this story with me. Prior to this, I had no idea my grandfather had done something so unusual. However, once again, as is often the case, he has completely astounded me. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video or you like what I do here, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!